One. So a very warm good evening to everyone present. We are joined with Master Chief ERA TGVR Ramanujacharyulu. He is a proud Indian naval veteran with 20 years of service. He has served aboard INS Vikrant, INLCU 38, INS Alipi, INS Vijay ships before joining the submarine arm. He has 15 years in submarine arm with almost 11 years of onboard service in various IN submarines, including INS Sindhu Ghosh, Sindhu Dhwaj, Sindhu Veer, and Sindhu Kesri. He has 3 years of instruction experience at INS Satvahana Submarine Training Establishment. He has a work experience in the mechanical engineering field at various levels of mid level management of submarine engineering department. He is conferred with an commendation by the Flag Officer Commanding in Chief West, along with other medals relating to service. A very warm welcome, sir. We are delighted that you have joined us today. So, before we begin with the session, I would like you to give us a small introduction on what motivated you to join the Indian Navy.
Very good evening to all of you. My journey started from a rural background. I was studying in a rural area, village. Then, after completion of my 10th standard, I have shifted to a nearby city, which is in Andhra Pradesh called Guntur, where there used to be one BRO, branch recruiting office, from where they recruit young boys, especially at that time boys only, there were no girls, young boys into the armed forces. So I was a regular visitor to that office so that I can have a kind of, in the starting, it was a career kind of thing. Later on, it turned out to be my love for the nation, serve the nation. And there I got into the idea of getting into the armed forces so that I can serve the nation in a better from a better platform. And I have joined Navy soon after my 12th standard. I have completed my 12th from Guntur. Then after that, I have joined the Indian Navy in the artificer apprentice entry, which is basically engineering arm of Indian Navy. Then from initial service, I have got my basic training from INS Chelka. From there onwards, I have joined INLCU 38, which is a landing ship which operates near Lakshadweep and Kochi. From then onwards, I have got again into my professional training at INS Shivaji Lonavala. There, I have been there. I was there for almost 4 years, getting trained in mechanical engineering as well as service subjects related to Indian Navy to operate different kind of things, different machinery, different class of ships, all that. And afterwards, after completion of my professional training, posted for the first time on board INS Vijay, which is again a missile squadron ship. There, I worked for almost 1.5 years. From there onwards, uh, I got kind of liking or lineation towards the submarine arm, which is a very elite force. Then I have volunteered. In fact, we need to volunteer for that to serve in that arm. You cannot just straight away join there. You have to volunteer first. They will, put you through a filtering process. Then you can join the submarine arm. Then I have joined the submarine arm. I was there in submarine training school for almost 6 months. After the completion of basic submarine training, they have put us on board INS Sindhu Ghosh, my first submarine, where I have had my first onboard experience in a submarine. Practically, it was very tough to start with, and very exciting and very challenging, in fact, on board INS Sindhu Ghosh. From there onwards, I got postings at different submarines for particular deployment reasons. Like INS Sindhudvaj, I used to double in between Sindhu Ghosh and Sindhudvaj during my initial probation period as well as initial period of confirmation. Then after some time, Sindhu Ghosh had to go to Russia for refit. Then I have been transferred to Sindhu Vijay, another same kilo class submarine, EKM class they call it. The same kind of submarine. There I had my long stint on board, had a full time working on board. Then for a brief period, I was transferred to INS Vikrant, a museum ship by the time. It was converted into a museum. It was an aircraft carrier with Indian Navy. After decommissioning, it has been converted into a museum. For a brief period of 6, 7 months, I was there posted before getting transferred to INS Sindhu Kesari, my another long stint on board a submarine, INS Sindhu Kesari. I stayed there for almost to the end of my submarine on-board career. Then I have been transferred from there to the submarine alma mater, basic training school, INS Satvahana, where I worked as we call instructors in the services, which you can call teachers or professors, whatever you feel like, depending on capability and qualification. So I had the privilege of training budding submariners, both, in all the cadres of submarine. That was almost for 3 years. Then I got retired from Indian Navy in 2012 after successful completion of my 20 years of service. That is the brief about my service.
All right, sir. Wonderful. So, entering into the questions, firstly, I would like to ask you, in your opinion, how has the Indian Navy's submarine fleet evolved over the years?
Okay, it has been a very long journey. Basically, why we need submarines? That is one fundamental question we must ask ourselves. Why do we need? See, basically, a submarine is a stealth power from where you can have maximum loss-making impact on the enemy without being detected. That is the basic reason why we need a submarine. Okay. So Indian Navy, India, in fact, as an independent nation after the independence, realized after going through both the world wars, the First and Second World Wars, how German submarines created havoc on Allied forces, how Allied forces have retaliated with their submarine prowess as well as air prowess. So there they have realized that our Indian government also realized how we need to strengthen ourselves so that we can evolve into a world class force. Balancing between regional, local with threat from both Chinese and Pakistan, as well as in a condition to negotiate with the world order, the evolving world order. So what they have done is they have, they have asked the British first to help us out to have a submarine force. Though they have trained our first batch of submariners in England, they haven't actually done anything for us. They haven't even helped us out in providing a submarine or leasing a submarine or building a submarine for us. They haven't done that. So we had to depend upon our Russian counterparts. So Russia has being a loyal friend to India for a long, long time, for many decades, almost more than half a century. So they have come up with supply of submarines to India, along with training our forces there. I mean, budding submariners there. They have, in 1967, in fact, we have got our first submarine from Russia. From then onwards, periodically we have been getting initially Calvary class submarines, which we call them Foxtrot class, which are basically replica of U-boats. You must have heard U-boats, which Germany used in world wars. U-boats, underwater boats, basically. Okay, those U-boat replicas Russians built, and they have supplied us with them. They are called Calvary class. They had two variants in that. One is Calvary class, one is Vagir class. Two different variants. Initially, they have supplied us with that. Then a slight variation from that, improvement from that. They have supplied us with kilo class submarines, which we call them EKM class, kilo class. Okay, they are a bit more advanced compared to those U-boat replicas of Foxtrot class. These are quite advanced in both operation capabilities as well as endurance underwater, as well as mechanical prowess. And electronically also, they were quite advanced compared to U-boats. Now, in present condition, we know, like after he came again, Indian Navy acquired. I mean, uh, they have thought that Russian class is okay, but we need a better version. Then they have gone with collaboration with Germany for HDW class submarines, which are Sishmar class. Okay, they are quite a bit more advanced compared to EKM class. Now, after these two, we have our Indian Navy has searched for better options compared to these two. Uh, After operating for quite some time, we have realized that we need to go into a better, I mean, technological advancement. Then we have P-75, I mean, with France, as well as our nuclear venture, our own. Like initially, we have what you call leased. We have been leased with one nuclear submarine from Russia initially, which we named it as INS Chakra. It operated for a brief period of around 10 years with Indian Navy. Then it was decommissioned when there was a scare of nuclear fallout. There was a scare. Actually, it was nothing much serious. No, nothing was there, in fact. But Russia took it back. We have returned it back to Russia. Then again, they have released another nuclear submarine to India. We renamed it again as Chakra, coincidentally. Again, that Chakra has helped us to build our indigenous submarines, which we call them now Arihant class, Arihant, Arighat, Haridaman, all these new latest nuclear powered submarines, which India itself indigenously building with the help of L&T. It's a great achievement for us, for an independent nation with just 50 years of history, independent history after British rule. It's a great achievement from our side. Now, in addition to these nuclear submarines, we have P-75 class, which are again from French technology. These are AAP, I mean, air independent propulsion submarines from French technology. We will be building around 12 boats of on our own because they have, with the strategical understanding, they have given us, they have transferred the complete manufacturing technology to us. So we are again indigenously building them with their support, outside support. And we are periodically we will replace all their technical support into our indigenous local built technology. That is, we are with the neck and neck with the most advanced technology available right now in the submarine arms. Yeah, on our own right now.
Right, sir. So it's clearly indicative that we are headed in the direction of self-reliance, be it in defense sector. So my next question would be, what are the key differences between older class submarines like Sindhu Ghosh class, the Kilo class, and the newer ones like the Kalvari class, that is the Scorpion class?
Okay, now Sindhu Ghosh class is diesel electric. Like we have diesel engines inside, which propel us as well as provide us the power to recharge our batteries. See, basically, submarines they need to stay underwater. When you are underwater, you are not able to run your engines. Okay, because for running an engine, you need oxygen, right? When you're underwater, you won't be able to get it from outside. So what you need to do is use the diesel engine power to charge your batteries. Okay, so that those batteries will provide you the duration where you stay underwater and where you navigate, where you go to places. Till the time you are underwater, you need only that battery power. Now that limits your power for a particular time. Like within 2 3 days, you need to come up to the surface, again run your engines, charge your batteries, and again go into the water, under the water. That is the condition, like what we used to follow kilo class submarines, EKM submarines. So to overcome that, we needed better technology so that you can spend a better time underwater for a longer period without much of a tension of running out of your batteries, running out of your charging. So we need a better technology. For that, we have developed nuclear power. Nuclear power is much longer duration. But nuclear power has like a scare is nuclear fallout. Like any kind of accident happens on board, any kind of small damage happens to the nuclear power system, we are bound to get radiated, like radiation might affect us. So we need another kind of modern technology wherein you can spend longer durations underwater without the scare of running out of battery, without needing to run your diesel engines. So they have developed an advanced technology called air independent propulsion. Like nuclear power also is air independent propulsion, but this air independent propulsion is kind of different than nuclear power. Like just like your fuel cell batteries, where your electrolysis can produce enough energy to run your steam turbines to run both propulsion as well as your power generation, where you can charge your batteries and keep them running even when you are underwater. That is the latest technology we have. So that is a transformation. Like, see, in older boats like Foxtrot class or EKM class, we had the scare of getting detected because of our underwater signature. Like underwater signature in the sense how much noise and vibration you are creating underwater is how you are detected by your enemies. Like how do we detect our enemy submarines? How do we detect our enemy ships? Is from their underwater or signature, basically. That noise, the kind of noise they make underwater, the kind of vibration they create. See, when you run your engine, run your motor, run any kind of equipment underwater, it is bound to make some kind of noise, and it is bound to make some kind of vibration, which is recorded by the sonars of enemy submarines, and they detect you and they might attack you. Now you need to be stealthy. You need to be more hiding and not being detected by your enemies. That is the basic requirement of a submarine. So to achieve that, initially Foxtrot class were easily detectable because they had, bare skin, like bare steel skin. The surface of the submarine used to be bare steel. Okay, there was nothing on top which can uh, repel the sonar waves, sound waves, which fall onto them. And I know you must be aware of what is a sonar technology, sound navigation technology, sonic technology, they call it nowadays, sonic technology. So basically, what it does is the sound wave comes from the source and hits your metallic body and returns back to the source, and they detect you with your signature, like the vibration, the sound you make. Okay. Foxtrot class used to have bare steel skin. Now, EKM Russians had developed a better technology, like with a minimal cost, cost effective technology of evading the sound waves, is they have put thick rubber sheets on top of the steel body. Okay, very simple technology, very cost effective technology, and very effective to avoid the sonar detection. So, but that is also helpful to large extent to evade, but the amount of noise you make inside with your machinery and with the propulsion with your diesel engines, quite a bit makes it a bit vulnerable to sonic detection. So to reduce the your signature, underwater signature, sound and noise and vibration signature. These air independent propulsion boats, they are quite very less noise producing, very less on leaving a signature behind, and very stealthy compared to these old class of submarines. Even Systemar class, the German submarines, they are also bare steel body, but being a bit technologically advanced, they were quite undetectable compared to now. These air independent propelled boats, they are almost undetectable. They are quite advanced in evading the enemy sonars.
Great, sir. I would also like to ask you regarding the Kargil War. So I would like to tell our audience that sir has been a part of the Kargil War as well. Sir, we are all aware of the instrumental role the Indian Army had played in pushing out the intruders from the northern borders. But not everyone is aware of the contribution of the Indian Navy in driving out the Pakistani forces. So, sir, since you were a part of Operation Talwar, could you shed some light on how the Indian Navy helped?
Yeah, we called it Ops Vijay, in fact, wherein see, Army had played the major role. Army and Air Force. Army had the major role. Air Force was supportive as well. We were also supportive. Indian Navy was also supportive. Like any stealth force, like it hides and it attacks, but nobody comes to know what happened actually. That kind of role Indian Navy played. Like, see, if they were able to attack you on two fronts, like Army and Air Force from their side, but they were not able to attack us from the third front, that is from water side. Mainly thankful to be to the Indian Navy, how actively we had blocked all their ways. Like we had choked their harbors, like Karachi harbor. I was part of a submarine, INS Sindhu Vijay, which was there itself at the harbor mouth, choking their entry outward. Uh, that is the way Indian Navy blocked their attack from the third front, that is water side. We have covered their entire water channel with all our naval might, all our submarines and ships were there present on the western seafront, blocking all their channels. Their ships and submarines even couldn't come out of their own harbor. That is the reason our uh, armed forces could easily achieve our target. It was not easy achieving the target, I understand, I do agree, but made a better contribution in achieving the target in a quicker fashion, in a easier fashion, and within lesser time.
Great, sir. Sir, I would also like to ask you what are some of the biggest operational challenges that submariners face during a mission or on board a submarine?
The life of a submariner is quite difficult. You can understand by their living conditions. Uh, it used to be quite tougher. Now it is with this emerging technology and better options on board. Now it is slightly easing up day by day. Like I would like to say one quote by Winston Churchill. Like of all the branches of the men in forces, there is none which shows more devotion and faces grimmer perils than submariners. Okay, submariners basically are once the submarine the the hatch is closed. We call it a hatch. Okay, hatch means a door, which like the door in our room. Once that hatch is closed, we dive. We are not aware we will come back up or not. You can understand the condition, how man goes underwater. Okay, you just keep your face immersed in water for a few seconds, then you can realize how suffocated you are. Then imagine the condition of a submarine going underwater 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, in fact. Okay, with 100, 150 men inside. And you don't know whether you will come on surface or not. That is the basic condition. And it is not possible for all of us to be safe with the contribution of each and every submariner in the boat. So everyone, just like they say it, the chain is as strong as its weakest link. You know that saying. That shows. I mean, the submariners also are of similar condition. Every person on board, each and every man wearing the dolphin. See, any submariner is a submariner. After the training, he goes through the filtration, he goes through the hardship of training. He earns a submarine badge that is called a dolphin badge. Okay. We wear it proudly on our heart, on our chest. Okay. Till the time we leave this world. Okay. Once a submariner is a submariner forever, whether in service, whether serving on board, or alive or dead, a submariner forever. Okay. So the condition inside a submarine is quite taxing, quite adventurous, and quite testing. Okay. You have very limited resources, like you have very limited amount of oxygen, limited amount of water, drinking water. And to tell you the truth, you cannot take bath inside a submarine. It's not permitted. It's a sin. It's a what you call you cannot take bath inside a submarine. You can only change your dress, and those are also limited because you cannot carry so many dresses for the entire 100 men because we need to travel light. Just like when you travel on board a aeroplane, what you do, you try to limit your weight, isn't it? In the similar fashion, the travel inside a submarine is also with limited weight. because we have to carry more of fuel, more of weapons to attack our enemy, not more of food for men, not more of water for men, not more of clothes for men. That is the condition. So when things are limited, you have to utilize them. I mean, justify the utilization of each and everything to the optimum possible extent, and you'll have to use those resources very judiciously without wasting them.
Right,
So that
sir.
is the living conditions inside a submarine.
Right, sir. Now, if any of the participants have any questions, the floor is open. So, if anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand or directly unmute your mic and speak. All right, so I guess there are no questions. Sir, one last question I would like to ask you is, what kind of changes do you wish to see? Like when it comes to like the submarines or ships, what advancements in technology would you like to see in the Indian Navy in the future, especially in submarines?
Yeah, that's a very good question and very introspective and very much we need to ponder about. Like, see, with the emerging world order, we need to be the best, and we need to balance with. I mean, we need to stay neck to neck with the most advanced uh, to deter as well as to face the present conditions. Like, see, if you observe now, the war is not only fought on battlefield, battlefield in the sense either in water or in air or in what or in on earth. Okay, now it is fought on different levels, like with the modern emerging technologies. Just like see, in the recent past in the Gaza attacks, we have seen how Israel blasted the pages. So that is electronic warfare from a remote location with insertion of bit of technology, technological advancement. So we need to be in that fashion, more stealthy with less uh, loss of human power, with more of mechanized, advanced technological warfare. See, nowadays you can see how drones, for example, how drones are being used at all levels of wars. Similar way, we need to develop. Of course, they are under development. Uh, underwater bodies, which are without any manless. They go without any human on board. They go and attack the position and cause maximum damage with minimum power consumption or minimum finances spent on that. That is the new order. Also, we need to be more. We call them what we call them. But I mean, a better technology. Like, see, nowadays we have the electrical EVs, electrical vehicles, where they have detachable batteries. Can you see that? You can took the battery out of the vehicle, charge it, and keep it back, and just drive out. In the same fashion, we need our ships and submarines to have a better the power supply technology like EV batteries, where we can simply load them and send the ship or the submarine out of the harbor to fight with the enemy and have the another set of charging power supply batteries available. That kind
Right,
of augmentation we need to have in the future to deal with the enemy.
right, sir. So, before we conclude, do you have any message for all the students?
Yeah, basically, I would like to tell you all, it's a very encouraging, very much adventurous life on board. I mean, on board submarines, I can say, being there on board submarines and ships. I mean, in the armed forces itself. So you must be vying yourself, must be competing with the best to get into the armed forces and serve the nation, so that we have the best of youth like you guys on board our submarines and ships, not the ones who had no other option yet than to join forces. We want the best of you on board our submarines and ships, as well as in our armed forces, to serve our nation, give the best to our nation. Maybe you are giving your best in your own field, but if you want to really do direct service to the nation, is to serve the forces. That's the best you can give it to your motherland. That's what I say, Bharat Mata.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a wonderful session. We are really privileged because of your august presence in this session. It was really insightful. And I would like to thank all the participants who have taken out time and attended the meeting. So hopefully we will meet in another session soon, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bharat Mata ki Jai, Shano Varuna.